Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that lying is impossible. Not illegal, not socially unacceptable, physically impossible. Someone asks you, "Do you like my haircut?" And before you can think, the truth comes out. "No, honestly, I hate it." Your first reaction might be, "Finally! No more politicians lying, no more fake promises, no more cheating, no more pretending everything is fine. It sounds like paradise." But there's a problem. You probably wouldn't survive the first day because we don't just lie to manipulate people. Sometimes we lie to protect them. Imagine you're sitting across from someone you love. They ask, "Are you happy with me?" Normally, you might say, "Of course." But now, you can't lie, so you hesitate. And that hesitation says everything. Suddenly, millions of relationships start falling apart. Not because people became worse, but because there's nowhere left to hide. Your friend asks if you're jealous. Your boss asks if you actually respect him. Your parents ask if you agree with them. Your partner asks if you've ever thought about leaving. Every question becomes dangerous, and eventually, people would probably stop asking questions. But something strange would happen. The world would become much harder to fake. Imagine walking into a job interview. The interviewer asks, "Why do you want this job?" You can't say, "I'm passionate about your company," unless you actually are. You have to say, "I need the money." And strangely, that might make hiring easier. People would know exactly what everyone wanted. Businesses couldn't pretend their products were amazing. Politicians couldn't promise things they knew they couldn't deliver. Advertising would become almost unrecognizable. And scams, they would become nearly impossible. So yes, the world might become more honest, but it wouldn't necessarily become kinder, because honesty and kindness are not the same thing. Think about the last time someone asked you, "What's wrong?" and you said, "Nothing." Maybe something was wrong, but you weren't ready to explain it. That little lie gave you time. Time to understand what you were feeling. Time to calm down. Time to decide whether you trusted that person enough to tell them. Without lies, that space disappears. Every private thought becomes public the moment someone asks, and that's when something even more disturbing happens. Privacy starts to disappear, because the only way to keep something private would be to avoid talking about it. And eventually, society would adapt. People would learn to communicate differently. Instead of asking, "Do you like this?" they'd ask, "What's your honest reaction?" Instead of saying, "I'm fine," people might simply say, "I don't want to talk about it," because that isn't a lie. It's a boundary. And maybe we'd become better at respecting those boundaries. Maybe relationships would become more honest. Maybe friendships would become deeper. Maybe we'd finally know who actually cares about us and who was only pretending. But we'd also lose something, the little social lies that make everyday life easier. "Nice to meet you." "Great job." "Don't worry about it. I'm okay." Sometimes those words aren't completely true, but they aren't always meant to deceive us. Sometimes they're just small acts of kindness. So would a world without lies be better? Maybe, but here's the uncomfortable part. Lies aren't the only thing hiding the truth. Fear does, embarrassment does, shame does. And sometimes we hide the truth even when nobody is forcing us to lie. Because the truth doesn't just change what other people think about us, it can change what we think about ourselves. And maybe that's why humans have been lying for thousands of years, not because we're broken, but because sometimes the truth is simply harder to live with.